So I recently purchased this game from my local game store, Wizards Loft, and this one is called Koi. Now, this is kind of a sequel to the game Bonsai. You know, it has that sort of Japanese theme to it, but instead of building up a bonsai tree, you're building your koi pond. Now, it has some different, quite a few differences, even though there are some similarities in the play where you draft cards from this board, which is the same in bonsai, and they can be different things like helpers. Um, Now I'm blanking what the other cards are called. There's some storage. It'll give you
That's
extra
funny.
storage because you only have a little bit of storage for tiles before they go into your koi pond. So you have to store them and then use another action to put them in. So Mel has a picture up here of one of my games I played, and that's the koi pond.
That's
Um,
quite like a 3D board.
yeah, there's a lot going on compared to bonsai.
Right.
You're not just building the koi, building you're putting some driftwood in there, you're building up some waterfalls possibly. Um, there's even some trees and little lily pads and a bunch of different things. But you're drafting these cards, and that is one of the actions, meditating. So you meditate and you draft one of the cards from the top row, and it'll give you some pieces on the bottom that you get to acquire if you can fit them in your um, storage. So you can get cards that will actually give you more storage, and you can keep those things until the end of your turn. So you may have gotten something that you can't fit, but then you get something that gives you storage. So it's just at the end of your turn. If you can't fit them in there, then you have to just let them go. You can, if you're not going to meditate, the other action they call is work. I believe that's the name of it. Yes, you can work. And when you work, there's things on your player board you can do automatically. We'll choose one of them, which is, placing two water tiles in your pond. So that's kind of enlarging your koi pond with just blank water tiles. You can place foliage. I'm not saying that right. Foliage. There we go. And that is like water lilies, or just some like leaves kind of that will go under the water lilies. You can place a shore tile, and that has to go around some water tiles. And then if you had a shore tile, you could upgrade it and put a lantern on there. And that'll give you a different type of scoring for the line that the lantern is in. Or you can place koi in your pond if you have purchased them. So that's a work action. Um, the other thing you can do is when you're doing the work, if you have helper cards, you can do their actions as well. So it's kind of nice because they have actions that are the same on your player board, where technically you'd only get to do one thing, but if you have helper cards, you'll get to do more. So it has a bit of a little engine builder in there, which is quite different from Bonsai because you get to an action engine builder. In Bonsai, it's more of a placement kind of engine builder. But this
Right.
one gives you more actions the more helpers you get. And then you can also get the scoring cards that will score for, different things, can be for helpers or for certain types of koi and so on. It has these little goal cards that you're going to kind of race to, and they'll be different every game. I think you only choose two. It could depend on player count, but in our game it was just two cards. No, maybe it was three. And then you kind of race towards them. So you might have to build up, certain koi beside each other, and then you can place this. What kind of things are in there again? Some really, really neat things. But, and it's just beautiful. Like, it's a very 3D
It's
type game.
gorgeous.
You can build bridges, and they're just like these red kind of torii bridges. They look like paths. You can build odoshi, they look like a little water slide. It's just like a single 3D piece. Some statues. You can put turtles, waterfalls, weeping willows. There's all kinds of things, but your game will change every time because you're only going to choose so many for player count. Now, the tiles I need to talk about. The koi tiles are acrylic, and they have that kind of look where you place them on the tiles and they look like they are swimming. Just kind of like the game Kohaku. Is that what it was called?
Right.
Kohaku, yeah. So they kind of took from there and placed, made the tiles that way. And it just makes it so beautiful because if you're watching on YouTube, you can see how the fish really kind of stick out because they are
Mm-hmm.
on a clear tile. Now, it's a quick game, it's not long. I would think, 45-minute max, even at high player count, unless you have some major AP. But super quick game, but very thinky because you really have to plan and you have to make sure everything's going to fit in the right area. With those waterfalls and shore tiles, when you place the lanterns, those are going to score, like I said, directly in front of them. So you might want to build up quite a bit of water tiles directly in front of that lantern because that's how it's going to score. And then each koi is going to score as well, depending on how much water is surrounding it and how much water lilies are beside it. So it can double, triple your score for each
Oh,
koi fish if you've built them the right way. It's just one of those neat tile laying games, but I find that these tile laying games are getting thinkier and thinkier. They used to just be like a, which is good, but they used to be just like a simple, gateway type of game that you could pull out. Where this one, I feel like it's a little step up from that.
right.
Wouldn't want to introduce this to someone who's never played a game before, but it's just perfect for me. I love it, and that's what I'm talking about today was koi.
It is beautiful. I wouldn't have
Yeah.
realized it was following bonsai from looking at it.
Yeah.